This is a horror game podcast. It is meant for mature audiences. It may contain adult language, violence, and sexual themes, as well as shocking revelations. Viewer discretion is advised. Greetings, fellow investigators, and welcome back to our video podcast, Into the Darkness, where my friends and I will be playing the Pulp Cthulhu role-playing game. I'm your host, Thom Raley. The campaign is Two Headed Serpent. It was written by Paul Fricker, Scott Dorward, and Mathew Sanderson. It's available directly from Chaosium and also from Drive-Thru RPG. I am the Keeper of Arcane Lore, and this is episode 14. Our recap will be given by Cohen Lighton as his hero, Goose. So, without any further delays, let's continue our journey into the darkness. Cohen?
We are such stuff as dreams are made on. These last few months feel like a dream, and now I might be walking in one. After running into the cliff face and Fern's encounter with a dog-like human being, we continued on along the cliff face of the mountain, where we think to find the inner night. After a short while, we came across this huge hole in the mountain that continued on as a ditch where it emerged from the mountain. It was way too big for any of the machinery of the prospectors, and it felt more like it was made by a living being. Deciding to see where this hole in the mountain takes us, we followed it down and ran into a wall, as if whatever made this ginormous hole just spawned out of nowhere. Not finding any trace of the inner night or whatever could have possibly made this hole, we started to head back, where we came across those dog-like creatures that Fern had mentioned. They didn't seem hostile, and after some very nice improvised hand and foot language from Lloyd Green, an English-speaking one came from one of the tunnels. He introduced himself as Eddie Kaplan. He says he's a ghoul. They feast on human remains, and he was in the middle of a feast when he was called. He invited us to partake of this feast and the remains of... He invited us to partake of the festivities and the remains of this human. And after a single pledge, we too could join all the wonderful things as life would bring as a ghoul. Seeing as I'm already turning into a hybrid something, I decided that was enough and didn't want to turn into a hybrid something else as well. The rest also politely declined. Eddie told us a lot about the Dreamlands, a place that ghouls can readily visit. Though for us mere mortals, it's not that easy. The dream world can be quite dangerous, as the thing that dug the hole in the mountain is a doll from that world. The dolls just keep on devouring everything in their path. And if we don't find a way to separate the waking world from the dreamlands and send it back from whence it came, it'll devour the whole earth. It would render the threat of the inner night null and void, but I don't think it's worth the cost. The other creatures we came across are also all from the dreamlands, and while some of them extremely deadly, this doll creature is likely the worst. A few hand grenades will not be enough to stop that thing, I suppose. In the line of work I come from, you're supposed to be quiet. All the cloak and dagger schemes you'd expect from the spy game. Nonetheless, I've taken quite a shine to blowing things up with a well-placed hand grenade. Alas, we only have one of them left, and I feel whatever might be next, it's not enough to solve our problems. Eddie was friendly enough to point us in the right direction where the Shapiro skin-wearing snake has gone. We finally came across a small ridge and climbed up to find a tunnel system that seems to be handmade. Be they snake hands, human hands, or some other hands, I do not yet know. It seems to have been revealed after the blasting by the prospectors. Fern and I, more trained in the sneaking business, went on ahead to scout out this structure. The blue-green luminescence of the structure made it hard to hide in any shadows going in. We came across natural-looking rocks that seemed to cut straight through this facility. The hallway we explored ended in the large room. It had a hexagonal pyramid-like thing in the middle of it, and around it were floating two large discs. Buzz would get a kick out of exploring this room, but before we could call him to check out all this weird tech, Ferda and I made too much noise, and we came face to face with the barrel of a gun.
Bang! The gun fires. It ricochets off the wall. And the person deep inside, who you assume is Shapiro, yells something at you that you don't understand at all. It sounds like maybe this native language. Not Nakal, not English, but Malay. What do you guys want to do?
This high-tech outpost we found ourselves in, are there any footprints on the shiny floor? I assume that we're tracking in dust and things from the cave outside.
A few rocks and dirt, yeah, but not very much once you get inside of it.
And nothing that we can follow to see how many there might be ahead of us, or to follow this guy from.
Well, go ahead and do something, let's say tracking or spot hidden, I'll take.
Yeah.
Since you're trying to discern that.
Oh, I rolled a 7. So that's an extreme for spot hidden.
I'll say that from your perspective, only one thing came in.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know if there's other. I'll give you something else, though, because you got such a good roll. When that gun fired, it didn't echo. So you don't, it had kind of a dull thud.
Even though there are chambers headed off from here, it's not a profound space.
Right. It's not a profound space.
You might as well give up. You're outnumbered.
He fires again.
Is he exposing himself to shoot at all?
But he's mostly just pulling his hand around the corner and firing. He doesn't have a direct line to you because you're also in kind of a hallway.
Mm-hmm.
He's not in the main pyramid room. He's in a room next.
There's these hexagonal entrances that are scattered around.
So unless he comes out of there and comes to your hallway, he won't be able to fire directly at you.
And vice versa.
And vice versa. Right.
Although that's no reason not to draw 2 pistols. Say, Shapiro, or whatever you call yourself now, should we just take your pyramid apart while you hide in the shadows?
I'll kill you all, he says.
Hero, you have such a sweet tongue. I should say that.
Maybe we can make him fire off all his shots. He seems to be crap at it.
Well, I don't even know. Let's just get in and shoot him. I'll just run across the room and try and get a clean line of fire.
I will not do what I was going to do then.
Oh, and throw a grenade at him?
Not a grenade. I was going to throw a bottle of toxic plant goop and let one of the shooters shoot it out as it went into the room, and that way it blew out all of its contents in every direction. He has to be close to the side door, but you're running, so I will not do that.
Before you actually act, then, I'll give you the opportunity to coordinate your actions. If you want to run one way and somebody wants to run another way.
I like Buzz's thing more.
Just
if we get the opportunity. I'm sorry, go ahead.
I'm taking a real big step back behind everybody, but I'm sure you already knew that. So
I mean, if you just went unannounced, I think that's what happened. Is you just kind of went, you said your thing and then took off. I hadn't expressed my plans at all. So, but once I saw you moving, I probably let go of the bottle and let it, go back down in my bag or wherever I keep them.
Well, yeah, but Tom, we're not in combat rounds yet, so if we're conversing, I think Buzz, I think it's an excellent idea. If he sees a projectile coming, he's likely to shoot at it, and that could well incapacitate him.
Or we could draw him out, and he doesn't know how many of us there are. Not necessarily if he's waiting.
I'll also tell you that the distance between you is only about 15 feet.
Well, maybe I'll tap Goose on the shoulder real quick before he gets too far. Mm-hmm. Just say, hey, let me throw one of these bottles in there, and one of y'all can try to take a shot at it. I mean, if you miss, it's going to shatter, just at foot level, but try to shoot it. And I mean, because he has to be standing near the edge of the door if he keeps popping out and shooting at us. So we probably could get a good spray.
A stink bomb?
It's the toxic plant goo that made. And Vern helped me find, some real toxic stuff.
Yeah, it's a little bit corrosive, so y'all might want to take some cover.
Yeah.
Just imagine as soon as I see the bottle, I imagine it being like bright green, almost glowing. I'll get what it is. And I'll just put my thumb up.
So
I'll look at Stony. Oh, go ahead.
You're going to throw the bottle, and then Gustav is going to try to shoot it in midair?
Whoever.
Is that what you're saying?
Stony has shot one before, so I'd probably looked at Stony, but if someone, Sound good? Stony, want to take a shot at it?
Yeah.
Right.
Also, Dr. Harrow and Goose, train your weapons in case he tries to dodge. Maybe get a shot at him.
Mm-hmm. Brace over here.
I'll protect the door.
Yeah, I'm just throwing in the door. I'm not really like throwing at anything specific except get it in the hole of the door. So,
well, I'm going to say that since it's a moving target, and it's small, Gustav, you got to get at least a hard, unless you've got some trick that you want to use. Otherwise, it's going to shatter on the floor.
Stony then, but if he wants to shoot,
Stony was going to try.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Goose and I are braced on point. Stony and Buzz have done this before.
Yeah. All right. So if you're ready, Stony.
Right. Pull.
Now we'll throw it. Do I need a throw roll, or is it just?
Nah.
I'm going to get it through an open door.
You're
okay.
Throwing something 15 feet. So.
Yeah.
Okay. Here we go. Okay. Ah, yes. I just made it.
Okay.
Just a regular success, though.
So your bottle flies through the air. The bullet hits it. It shatters. And after just a second, you hear the guy scream out in pain. And he's like, you idiots, like this. And he comes running out, and he's sort of diving behind the pyramid, but he's going to fire a couple shots as he goes. He's not really aiming. So we're just going to see luck. 87, 79. Yeah, he didn't hit you guys.
Can we try and shoot him while he ducks for cover or behind the pyramid?
Yes, you can.
Yeah.
If you guys were poised and ready, sure.
A regular success, 44.
Oh, and I have a hard 29.
Okay.
I'm like firing once. I don't know how much there's going to be ricochet in here.
Go ahead and roll for damage.
All right. 5.
8.
He's got armor though, and that negates 4 of those. So your bullets hit, and you definitely injure him. You hear him call out because you've hit him, probably in the leg and probably in the side. You see splatters of not red blood, but kind of blackish blood as he does that. And he curses at you in melee and in Na'akal. He's behind the pyramid, and he's going to try to crawl over and shoot at you.
Insistent, isn't he?
Who's the idiot now?
I've definitely stepped
Fern?
back behind, the shooters for sure, a little bit.
Okay. Fern, Lloyd.
I'll try to get him with my rifle.
Nice.
He's still pretty far away, though, isn't he? He's like 15, 20 feet.
Oh. All right,
Yeah,
that's
well,
a regular
that's not that
success.
It is when you only have a
Okay.
flame pistol. Yeah, I have a
2d6.
what I have pulled out.
2. 4.
Hey. He's going to try to shoot at you at the same time. Now he got a 71. He's not very good at shooting. You got him 4 points, and that will do him in. So you probably hit him in the head. And he sort of rolls over, and he's shaking with the nerve twitch. You can also see where you hit him. He has a snake person underneath poor Shapiro's skin.
Shapiro's skin is probably much the worst for wear, actually. All right, I'm going
There
to...
is no other noise besides you in this room, and this sort of humming sound coming from machinery.
going to approach him carefully and disarm him.
Okay.
Don't you think
Weapon's
it
probably
might have
out
been
of bullets anyway.
Don't you think it might have been a better idea to question him rather than shoot him?
He did seem rather eager to take us out or die trying.
Maybe next time someone's shooting at us, Lloyd, you ask him to stop so we can ask them some questions.
Okay.
You sneak up from behind him and catch him or something. We'll
So
distract him with the bullets and...
Do you move farther into the room then?
Yeah, I've got a handkerchief because there's probably a bit of aerosol plant matter yet. But we need to check this place out.
Once you are in the pyramid room, you can see down the other two corridors, and in both cases, they only seem to go in a couple of feet, and then there's a solid rock wall. And once again, it looks like the rock wall wasn't supposed to be there. The tunnel was there, but now it's solid rock. And then the room that he was hiding in seems to be some sort of control room. There's all kinds of flashing lights and bebops in there.
Cautiously make my way over there, sidestepping glass and plant goop.
You can drive this thing, Buzz. That might be useful.
This looks like a room that could have had maybe 5 people that would work here. There are panels everywhere. There are strange black rectangles on the walls. Everything is making humming noises. And you've never seen a television because they don't exist yet, but that's kind of what you're seeing is screens,
black rectangles,
and things that look like keyboards, but not with our language on them, and lots and lots and lots of symbols and pictograms and things.
I'm going to, while Jack investigates the control room, I'm going to, assuming that our reptilian friend has expired by now, going to see if he's got anything on him other than a gun and Shapiro's skin.
Well, he has all of Shapiro's papers, his identification, and so forth. But other than that, he just has Shapiro's gun, and he doesn't have anything unusual.
He didn't take documents or something else that we need. He was just He infiltrated us and made a run for it, perhaps to report to higher ups, but I don't think he's had a chance to do that.
Now,
I hope not.
do you think the higher ups were in this tunnel system and these rock walls came in? Or do you think he was doing something else and the inner night is somewhere else?
Right, and do we think that this is the actual member that poisoned the village, or was he part of a group here? That's a fair question.
He doesn't seem to be the brains of the operation.
No, indeed.
I mean, there may be some sort of radio equipment in there, eh, Buzz? He might have been communicating with his group through through some telecommunication system.
Yeah, there's a lot I don't recognize, but I'm also looking for like anything that would look. I mean, like a radio is going to look, probably pretty universal to standard.
You've got weird science, so do mechanical.
Okay.
Whatever your high thing is there.
Mechanical's a little bit higher than electrical. I'll spend the luck to make it a success. I will spend 7 luck to get it down to a regular success.
Start looking at it, and you think that, there's always a logic to how you would lay something like this out. So there's an array of buttons in front of you, and you flip a couple of them, and you start fiddling with some dials and things like that. And right in front of you, one of these black panels seems to start to glow and light up. And when it does, there is a world map, although it seems to be composed out of light, somehow is making this picture. It looks like our modern world, or at least very close to our modern world. It looks like this.
Probably call the others in, but whenever this thing turns on.
You're probably all there staring at it.
So
a little hard to read
us.
from my side. I can't determine what the symbols are. That's not English, is it?
No,
It's
that's
not
Nahuatl.
That's us. That's Iceland. And what's that in the bottom left? That's not. I don't know that one.
One of their sunken continents. So is that Mu? I've looked at some ancient maps.
The screen suddenly flickers, and you hear what sounds like an electrical discharge, and it's coming back from the other room, and you can see sparks coming from the wall right where one of Shapiro Snake's bullets hit. And the power is fluctuating.
This might be becoming increasingly unsafe.
Buzz, do you need to go take a look at that?
Yeah, I'll probably go over there and take a look into the hole, see what got shot there. That's electrical, it seems.
But Buzz, intuitively, you start to realize that it's some sort of a control room. And there are buttons here and there that are just screaming to be touched. I'd like you to do a luck roll.
Okay.
Don't press the self-destruct button.
Oh yeah, that's a success.
Okay. You push a button and you hear what sounds like a ramped up engine. It's ramping up energy, and the area between these two cylinders, right above the pyramid, the air right there starts to glow, and with a kind of a flash, there's a sphere, and the sphere doesn't seem to be composed of anything but light. But when you're looking at it, you're looking out into a desert in the middle of the day. And then there's another spark from the wall, and the picture changes. And it's suddenly like the top of a mountain and you feel a cold breeze coming from the sphere. And every couple of seconds it switches, it changes.
I'm a fairly intelligent guy. I think I've got a pretty good idea of what's happening here since, we're kind of feeling, the what's on the other side come through. I was like this might be one of those gates. Like the bomb that's going to open a gate onto this star.
Are you saying that out loud?
Yes.
You're all seeing.
Oh, thank God, Buzz. Quick, throw the box through.
Wait a minute.
No.
Yeah, we don't know where. I mean, this mountain could just be like over there.
That looks pretty far to me.
Why don't we give you the box and throw you through it?
I'm not sure quite the hostility. I'm trying to save your life too, Stoney.
I understand that, but we don't know what's on the other side of that. You could kill millions of people. Do you want to on your conscience?
Have you ever heard of the like Schrodinger? There could be people there. There could not be people there.
Tell you
Let's
what.
just assume there's not.
Go find out.
Jack, you start to realize that some of the systems in here are giving you obvious warnings that something is damaged, something is building up to a danger level.
As much as I'd like to use this gate to get us someplace useful, we have a dole to deal with here and now, as well as this time bomb. And I'm afraid that this vessel seems like it might be on its way out.
I don't know, but I want to check Shapiro's body. Maybe he's got something on him.
I'm going back in to push the button that I pushed to make all this start.
Okay. Do any of you approach the sphere and do anything?
I want to throw a pebble or something at it.
Okay. You throw a rock you find on the ground at it, and it goes into whatever the scene is.
That kind of confirms the gate idea, but I agree not to throw the sun bomb into it. I mean,
And
it's
then
a last thing for the duel. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Then there is a moment where, looking through it, you seem to be in almost utter darkness on the other side. There's a cliff. You've materialized, or the sphere is materialized on top of this cliff looking down. And you realize it's a valley that stretches off into the distance. And you can only barely tell that in the darkness of it. But you hear a noise like a howl, like a mountain howling. And there is something in that valley that's moving along, maybe a number of things that are moving along. And they seem to be moving towards the gate. If you can see in, they can see out. And they don't like the light. And I'll have you all do luck.
How quickly is the rotation between vistas happening?
Well, it's random. It seems to be whenever the short circuit hits, it switches.
Mm-hmm.
You said luck?
Yeah.
Okay.
I passed. I'm
Barely
definitely,
passed.
definitely going to that other room.
I failed.
All right. For a moment, you think that you see the horror that you've been looking for, a gigantic worm in that valley. But it rears back in the darkness. It howls again, moving right towards your hole, your doorway. And then it spits. And what it spits is like a green glue that blasts out of that gate and you guys all manage to miss it except Fern. And Fern, you're suddenly doused in it. At first, it's just cold and gooey, but it immediately starts to burn, like an acid.
It burns, guys. It burns. Get it off me.
And then the picture changes to something else.
I mean, I'm
Jack, what did you do?
You're muted, Dr. Harrow. I'm running back from the room to, I guess, start. I mean, I'm sure we have some canteens. Start trying to wash this stuff off. Yeah. Start pouring my canteen on her face.
Water isn't always best. Fern, what does it burn like? You know your chemical compound.
I'm sorry.
Is it an acid? Is it a base?
That's so bad.
You need to do a con roll, Fern.
Excuse me, what does this burn
My
like? Does this burn
constitution
like fire?
is terrible. Oh my god. No, I failed that so miserably.
1d6 damage, and you're having trouble breathing.
Maybe.
I got 5 damage.
I remember something like this. I start trying to pick up dirt, and I start trying to like throw it on her and rub it on her.
Green, please, for God's sakes.
I don't know. I think at this time she's dropped
It
to the
might
ground and she's
neutralize
just
it. I
like
don't
writhing
know.
in pain.
Yeah.
Like
You
smothering a
realize,
fire.
Lloyd, when you do that, I mean, there might be a moment of relief, but now you've got green goo all over your hands, so they're starting to burn.
Oh fuck! Ah!
All right, I take off my outer shirt and start wiping, without getting my hands in it, start trying to wipe off Fern's face,
I'm digging in the ground, like trying to like bury my hands in dirt.
Jack, you should try to make sure this thing doesn't explode because she's going to be harder to move now. Stony, Goose, you can help wipe her off.
Yeah.
I've got, gauze and things in my medical bag so we can, but I think you're right to get to her face first. Fern, if you need sedation, just tell me.
Please, doctor, please, something. I can't stand it.
Is she blistering? Is it?
Yeah, well, what did you get? 5 points of damage? Yeah, she's probably starting to blister. Fern, do you want to roll a Constitution roll again? Remember, you can spend luck.
I know.
You said I also have it on me. Do I start taking any damage?
Yeah, it's burning. So you roll a Constitution.
That's good. 4. That's extreme. So very good.
Okay, you've managed to get it off your face then, Fern.
Okay.
That's a fail on me.
Okay, 1d4. Well, you've only got it on your hand, so 1d2.
Green, don't rub your eyes.
How much damage?
1d2.
Okay. It's 2. Yeah, you just see me screaming and like I'm actually digging at the ground and like you start seeing like my fingernails might actually almost look like they're starting to try to peel off because I'm like digging in the ground and trying to do anything for relief.
You're inside, Green. That's metal. Rub your hands on your trousers. Rub them on your vest. Don't touch your face. I'll be with you in a minute. Maybe I'll hand Goose like a little vial of alcohol so that he can start helping damage control Lloyd.
Jack and Stony, you hear something outside the cave that sounds like a big go-wumph.
Ah, shit. I think we've attracted some attention.
It didn't sound like an attack. It sounded like a big hole opening outside.
It's not a good sound.
No.
The gate's still going like a third cycle.
And there's a lot of sparking coming from things around you.
I'm going to run in and hit that button real quick. Just see if it turns off.
It doesn't.
Okay.
You do start to think that you can maybe control where it's going to point next, but you don't know where it's going to point next.
Yeah.
You can't read anything on the map.
Okay, well, I'm gonna let it. Oh gosh, if I can't turn it off, I don't know. I don't know that I have time to sit here and Stony. You want to go poke your head outside real quick while I try
Yeah.
to maybe point this thing somewhere, or go investigate the bullet hole to see if there's something I can do there to make it stop cycling at least?
Yeah, you do that. I'll go see what this suspicious noise was.
Yeah, if I can't with the controls, if I can't figure something out to like make it stop, I'm gonna then go look at that bullet hole and see if there's anything I can stuff in there to make it stop.
So, Stony, when you get to the edge of the cave where you climbed in and you look around, you can see it almost seems as if the sphere has been fractured and there are little spheres appearing and disappearing all over the place. Not all the way down the mountain, but just in the local vicinity. Maybe this is how those other dream creatures got through, because this gate is malfunctioning.
Okay. And I just kind of see him pop in, pop out.
Yeah. Maybe bird
Okay.
flies out, maybe an insect, maybe something, but
Yeah, I'm gonna run back to Jack and say, yeah, this problem is escalating. These spheres are appearing outside. They're just kind of popping in and out. Stuff's flying out. Uh, it's getting bad.
Okay, I gotta figure out how to turn it off, or because I don't know if pointing this one in here in one place is going to do anything for outside.
Do you think if the effect isn't localized because it's breaking up, that if this ship self-destructs, they'll stop?
I mean,
they're going to keep ricocheting around.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, it could be that it's already, it may be unstoppable what's happening out there already. I don't know.
What about desperate measures? Like we rip a panel off and just start pulling whatever's in there.
Well, I'm not one to shy away from kick it till it works. So if nothing else works, we can start trying that. But just give me a couple more seconds here with these knobs and buttons before we, start disassembling it. And yeah, I'm turning things, see if it if anything on the little display changes, That's my main focus is a display. So everything I push, I'm trying to see if it indicates a light on there or something.
Yeah. You do start to see things, different things, but the sparking and the smell of burning is getting stronger. You get the impression that this was already damaged.
Okay.
And you do get a diagram. You think of this facility, and the diagram you're seeing is extensive. This facility went all across this area. However, it doesn't give you any indication that there was a mountain here.
Okay.
The facility was on ground level at some point.
So it's, I don't know what to do with that. Maybe that it's such an old facility and, just natural world grew up, or the gate opened and dropped a mountain here, or any number of things.
Stony, you could see too that when the things appeared and disappeared, the edge of the sphere acted kind of like a razor blade. If there was a tree there, the tree would be cut through. And so for that moment that there's like a moment that you notice when the spot inside the sphere is in two places. It's in the other place and it's in this place. and sometimes they're fusing together. Sometimes they're annihilating each other.
So I twist dials, push buttons and stuff, and nothing seems to be happening, right?
Correct.
I think,
You have
Stoney,
determined that there's a power source, but it's below this facility somewhere in the rock.
So knowing that, I don't know. So there's a facility somewhere below us, likely covered.
Or there was.
Yeah, we can't get to it. I don't know that ripping the panel apart and pulling stuff out is going to actually do much other than, I mean, because unless we can find the power source, I get the feeling this is just going to keep going unless we can completely turn it off.
Okay.
The gate is that thing in the middle, though, that those two things rotating around the pyramid. And the panels are not they're not indestructible.
Right.
I mean, they've always been destructed by a bullet.
I mean, we can start pulling wires out, Stoney. And I guess last ditch thing is I shove this last grenade in there and we all run.
Well, I mean, what's going to happen if we just like leave it and let it run its course?
Well, I don't know, but are we hearing more whoops? Like, can I gauge that the situation outside's getting escalated?
Okay.
It
can't
seems
really
like
tell that, but yeah, they're still.
I mean, I'm thinking that there's been an increase in the hum and stuff in here. I'm thinking that maybe my guess is it's just going to keep producing more and more gates, which just if that keeps going just exponentially, I mean, it's just going to eat a hole in the world. I don't know.
Okay.
So yeah, let's pop a panel off and just start pulling. I don't think we can make the situation worse, which is what a lot of people say the moment before they die. But
Goose, if you'll give me a hand, let's get Lloyd and Fern outside and out of the way, and I'll begin first aid.
Yeah, honestly,
Yeah, sure.
I don't know that there's much you four can do. So if you want to start moving, I mean, like last ditch thing is I'm going to throw this grenade inside this machine and run. So if y'all want to distance yourselves.
It's your last one, and you know what you said. Always save one for later.
Yeah. Well, I've got a big one.
Well, yeah,
but it's on a
too.
time limit. But hey, we have not met a problem a grenade has not solved yet. So
That was the first time.
Jack, how is your Naakal? Have you been learning some of the language?
I have. Not a lot. I thought more, but not a lot. Like 5.
Pictograms are easier than the text. All right. So you guys have managed to get most of the stuff off of Fern. You guys are moving back down the tunnel to get out. It's somewhat chaotic outside. The night gaunts are now flying around because they're confused about what's going on as well. Jack, you as you're trying to undo things or play with the buttons or whatever, a screen comes up and it shows you mostly in pictograms, but it looks like it's a bit of kind of an archive of this scientific facility. You see in that picture that there were lizard people working here. Because the map is showing a somewhat slightly different Earth, you don't think that it's recent. But it looks like they had some sort of disaster. And the disaster is that they also accidentally let a dole loose. And in order to stop it, they used gates to teleport a mountain's worth of rock, which was supposed to completely destroy the facility and fuse everything into rock, which would, of course, kill the dole by just, it could eat rock, but it can't be fused with it. So
Yeah.
Yeah, this facility was supposed to have been completely destroyed. It's only a fluke that this part didn't get buried in rock. Now you've got another dole. And this facility is hanging on by a thread.
Yeah. Okay.
Your grenade could probably easily destroy the connection between power and.
So I pull a panel off. Just one right in the middle. Yeah.
Yeah.
Stoney, you take, and I hand him the sun grenade. Take this and get a head start.
All right.
After about a minute, I'm going to put this grenade in there and I'm going to start running.
Okay. Sounds good.
Okay. Make sure everybody else is following with you.
Yep.
All right. So you guys are all getting out except for Jack.
Yeah.
Jack, you've got a place under the pyramid where you can throw the grenade, and you throw it and you run.
Yeah.
Do a dexterity roll.
Okay.
For me.
Yeah.
Oh wow! I actually passed that. I will spend 3 to make it a hard.
Okay. So you take a running leap and you slide across the floor down the tunnel where they are. You scramble over the edge where they are already gotten, and there is the sound of an explosion behind you, and there is a rumble from the mountain itself, and all of the little spheres outside seem to have suddenly vanished. There's smoke and billowing, debris coming out of the tunnel, and you start to see flashes all around the mountainside down below of things disappearing. The weird plants are disappearing, and where the spider was, it's disappearing. And you notice that there's a kind of a collapsing area of jungle that seems to be falling into something like it's falling into a tunnel, like a cave underground that's opened, and now there's nothing there to support it. Maybe the dole, you look up and you see the night gaunts flying in the air, and they just suddenly fade to nothing. And the dream world seems to have been excised.
Severed the connection to the dream world.
And then the mountain starts to avalanche all around you, so you can all run for your lives to get away from it.
So
we'll say here,
I wish we'd fed the sun bomb to the dole before it went back to the Dreamlands. Although who knows if it blew up the Dreamlands, what that would do. From what Eddie said, it might be very important that those exist.
Sure, that was the Dreamlands. And I don't know how we're actually saying all this when we're running for our lives. Are you even
loudly?
Sure it was the Dreamlands? That could have been Antarctica. Fuck, my hands hurt.
Watch out for avalanche. Get this way.
I would like Stoney to do a dex roll.
Okay. Oh, jeez. No. But I'll spend the 11 luck to pass that.
To not drop
Yeah.
the half terrain device.
Yeah.
All right. It's probably going to take you an hour or two to get back to camp if that's what you want to do. You still have the half terrain device. And it's going to go off.
Yeah, we only got maybe a few hours. Forget what it was a 10-hour timer, but it was broke, so we had a little longer. I think we had just under 24 hours total. Now that we're doleless, what are our thoughts? I don't think we can just throw it in the ocean, because that's going to just create a catastrophe whenever, 10.
You wouldn't be able to get to the ocean
Yeah.
fast enough anyway.
Well, we'd either have to find another gate or find a way to switch it off.
Not that many people out here. Just say that there's another plague or something and evacuate. And then clean it. Let it go off.
There were around 200 people and around 13 people in the survey team. That's all that's in this area. Everybody else is either sick or dead.
Well, and since we've been gone, did they clear out the ones that were showing that they were negative for the virus?
They haven't had time to test anything.
And we don't want to destroy our device that we brought all the way here across the world.
Yeah.
That
I
we're
don't
gonna
want
need
to take it with me.
for the research.
And I don't think we can get far enough away from it in time.
I mean, you know, if we evacuated, left it here, again, I don't know how many tons of rock Mount Vesuvius evaporated, but it was a cataclysmic event that was felt around the world. So we really don't want it to go off in the Earth's atmosphere if we can help it. We want to send it somewhere else.
Well, you could have thrown it through the portal like I suggested, but that's just hindsight.
Yeah, we could have thrown it through the portal and hit Manhattan, though. We didn't have any control over how quickly that thing changed. Who knows? As far as we know, the pebble that Goose threw hit a school child in Nebraska, and their mother will never know why she exploded. Sorry, Goose. Just you can't throw things through dimensional gates willy-nilly, is all I'm saying.
You just imagine you're
I was
walking down the
testing
street
a
and all of a sudden a
hypothesis.
rock hits you.
It was a pebble. I mean,
Yeah,
should be
but if it
able to
was
handle
from
a
1,000
pebble.
feet, terminal
That's
velocity on a
true.
pebble is going to do an 8-year-old pretty hard.
the
grown
8-year-old
up
should
as
learn how
well.
to
But
duck.
that's a lovely thought. Thank you for that, Dr. Harrow.
You just
should
don't
take
throw things
sanity
through
damage
dimensional
for
gates,
that.
is all I'm saying.
Well, I was gonna check if it was one.
And you did, and it was useful. And I'm not accusing you of anything, for heaven's sakes, Goose. I'm just glad we didn't throw a Stargate through it. But I'd like if we could make one now and drop it in that Dole's Trench, or maybe, halfway between Jupiter and Pluto. That's what I want to do.
The only other thing I can think of is perhaps find Eddie and ask him to do us a little favor.
I was gonna ask, what do the...
He's friendly enough, and maybe there's a way that you can, especially for a fee, the ghouls might be able to take it someplace off-world where it'll do no harm.
Yeah, that's
Everything from the dreamlands have disappeared, then that tunnel might not be there anymore.
He did say that all we'd have to do would be to go and find a grave and to give it a few raps.
Yeah, they're all connected somehow. We've certainly got no shortage of cemeteries back by camp. Did you need a hand, Fern? I know that I haven't had a chance to treat you properly yet. Are you able to keep up? I don't want...
I'm trying, but these blisters are hurting like mad.
I rolled up one of the handkerchiefs and stuck it in a glass bottle. Maybe we could analyze that stuff with our device. Dole spit might be very useful.
Very painful.
As you are climbing down the side of the mountain, you do notice, you're guessing that this is where the Dole was underground, because there is now a chasm that drops down out of sight into the darkness. Bingo.
Hey.
It could be miles deep.
So if there was a very, very deep hole
yeah.
and we suspended it into empty space in a very deep hole, and got everyone well away.
I mean, that might be about the best option because I don't know how we get it. I mean, either that unless we can hire Eddie to take it to some empty, I don't know, realm or whatever they do.
If you're really worried about casualties, I would suggest that. Just because I'm just wondering, when you stick a bomb underneath a whole bunch of projectile-shaped objects, and then they shoot straight up and out, they might go a little further than the 10-mile radius as well. So maybe that rock ends up hitting one of those children off in the village.
Yeah. Well, let's stabilize our injured. Let's, get away from anything that's falling apart, stabilize our injured. Back to the camp, we can knock on Tombstone and see whether a ghoul pops his head out like a gopher and says, "How can I be of help, buddy?" But I imagine it takes longer than that and so on, and I don't really know how we're going to offer them food. They've already fed from the corpses of the village.
Yeah,
Meanwhile,
that's going to take a lot of time to get back there, and however much time it takes a ghoul to answer a call, and we may be at the point by then, if they can't do it, where we just, I mean, worry about ourselves.
I mean, we could do some math. We could look at the chasm and see how vast it is and give us a better idea of the physics involved in letting it explode there. I wonder if there's anyone, well, no. I was going to say if we could reach home base in Manhattan via radio, they could tell us how to fix the thing, but if anybody knew how to fix it, it would have been Shapiro. That institutional knowledge is lost. I mean, it's in a trunk. So.
That right there, it's a body. We could offer that.
Yeah, Shapiro's not needing it. It seems like a lot to ask, but Eddie did seem like a friendly guy, and the ghouls probably don't want a giant explosion here.
I mean, it would just be like a case of takeout for them. They show up, pay them, they get their food.
Question is, how long would it take for them to show up to get to another realm? It might just take too long.
Yeah,
They
he
also
says they
say,
travel
like, time
quickly,
was... Didn't they say time was weird as well?
yeah, something like that. They can certainly get from place to place much more quickly via other channels.
That might also accelerate the detonation time if it's in there and time is weird. It might slow it down, might accelerate it.
But that wouldn't be our problem anymore, would it?
Well, Eddie was a good guy. I would feel bad if we
I'm sure if we
harmed
told
the
them
old
exactly
fellow.
how long it was, I'm sure there's a clock on it that's ticking down.
No, it's not. Sadly, it doesn't have a regular clock face. That would be very
Is there no
convenient.
way that we can get a hold of somebody at headquarters? Just tell them what's going on. Maybe they have some answers.
So, okay. I think our best option, unless someone else has something better, is we drop it in this big hole here, because the goal thing may work, but we may go, a few hours back to camp, wait a few hours, and nothing happened, and then we're kind of out of time of getting it away from anywhere. Out here is, I'd say, pretty sparsely populated, and the radius of it may reach the camp, but maybe not much farther than that to more populated areas. And if we drop it in the hole, it's, the earth is going to eat up a lot of the explosion. I mean, and it may just we just get away and it may just form a giant crater here.
Be a major earthquake.
Well,
How
again,
far
we haven't
down
looked at
is
how
the
deep the
core of the
chasm.
Earth?
It's just at
We're
some
not-
point. No, sorry, Fern.
No, I'm thinking like we make a giant hole in the Earth. What's going to prevent magma and everything else coming up through?
Oh, the crust is quite a bit more than 10 miles thick.
I just think that the gamble is with the ghouls is our time that we're allowed to get away from this blast. We don't have a plane anymore, so it is just overland travel. So it's either drop it in a hole and start moving from here, and we have hours to kind of get away and evacuate anybody that we can, or we, hedge our bets on a ghoul taking it to another dimension. And
We also need to figure out how to drop it, because if we just drop it and it hits the ground in, I don't know, 30 seconds or so.
No, I think we'll be suspending it in the chasm. We won't set it on the surface or toss it away like a rag doll. We'll give it as much space as we can. In fact, if Stony and Goose, if you want to help Lloyd and Fern, who are going to be slower, head toward the cap, Jack and I could do some math and see if, estimate the size of the chasm and its depth and try to figure out the least destructive way we could leave this thing behind.
yeah,
Okay.
Sure.
We have established in a previous episode that parachutes do exist.
Have. And we brought, some suitable, we expected to be doing some climbing. So we have not impressive gear, but we have ropes and,
yeah.
pitons and things like that. So we can,
Miles worth of rope.
not a mile's worth.
It seems like your biggest problem is going to be to get out of the radius before it goes off.
Yeah, that's why I think dealing with it here, and that way we have the time to get away. I think that's a good idea, Dr. Harrow. You four head back. We will try to figure out how deep this chasm is, and try to find a way to get this thing down there as far as we can, and then start heading back ourselves.
All right.
Sounds
Godspeed, gentlemen.
I mean, at this point, we probably have, let's see, it's been what, 6 or 7 hours? So
Easily.
yeah, so we probably got, half a day, maybe 12 hours or so.
Yeah. So if you alert the English that evacuation is necessary, they've heard that, the explosions and collapses that have already happened. So I don't think it'll be hard to convince them that there's a further eruption or whatnot on the way.
Don't they see an avalanche coming towards them? They might have already started preparing to evacuate.
Yeah, I mean, mostly the mountain was collapsing rather than getting bigger, but I'm sure they're getting mobile. Yeah, I would be if I felt those sorts of shock waves.
Yeah.
All right, Buzz, let's put on our thinking caps. I've got not only does this thermos have some pretty decent coffee in it, but my second medical bag pocket, and not the gun, the other one, has some rather good brandy in it. And I'll sharpen the pencils and we'll do some math.
Yep. You all just do your part and get back as quick as you can, and get everybody that you feel needs to move moving.
And there's no real concern about the disease at this point. The contamination source is now recognized, analyzed. We have a treatment. So the Brits won't have to be anxious about evacuating any locals.
Okay.
Maybe start working on arranging our way home.
Our old plane is no longer useful.
So some of you are running down the mountain towards the camp, and Dr. Harrow and Buzz, you are doing some calculations.
Yeah, figuring out how deep this chasm is.
Well, when you toss a rock off, it takes quite a while before you hear a sound come back up. So you're thinking it's at least a mile or two deep.
I mean, if we throw a flare, we can see the far side, get an impression of whether what we're hearing is something getting closer or farther away. If we see the flare disappear into the distance, then we know we've got a really vast hole. We might actually be helping the island heal from this weird dole incursion, all things considered.
Yeah. I think maybe our next big thing is how to get it down there without, throwing it and risking it going off while we're still standing here.
Yeah, something with a silk parachute. It's much lighter than a human being. If we can slow it or suspend it.
Heroes aren't afraid of nudity.
Why, my silk garters are just what we need.
I've already taken off one shirt to help Fern, but that, I'm sure we can figure out a way to get it down there slow enough between, clothes or ropes or spending enough luck that we brought a parachute with us to the middle of the jungle for no reason.
I don't think that's possible, but
does it, maybe this dole spit, if I rub it on the right rock, we get some helium gas and we can make a little balloon for it.
Well, bear in mind, this is pulp.
Yeah.
Come up with something.
Yeah, I'm saying, Buzz, do some mad science for me.
Yeah, there's okay.
I can levitate the thing, but I have to be around for that, so that's no good. I could levitate it towards something that we could leave behind, though.
Well, okay. How good of a handle do I have on timing?
On how long it's going to take?
How long before it goes off?
Yeah.
Can I sit down with it for another hour or something and try to really work out a estimate of time?
I'll tell you what, do a luck roll. Well, no, let's not do a luck roll. Let's do a mechanical engineering roll.
Okay. That I've got a regular success. I have no problem spending to get it down to a hard.
If you spend down to a hard, you know that you might at this point have just enough time to get back to camp and get out of the explosion radius. Though you have no idea what the heat's going to be like.
Yeah. Because my thought is I construct something that's going to hold it out there that will cut the rope at the right time so it'll fall, and be in free fall when it goes off. Okay.
That's your Rube Goldberging it. So, I mean, you've got those kind of skills. Roll mechanical engineering.
Okay.
This dental floss will come in handy.
Let me adjust
He's
my
MacGyvering it.
Yeah. I've got a hard on that roll in its own.
All right.
So.
Yeah, you figure out some sort of Rube Goldberg machine to drop it just before it's going to go off. And now you've got to run, and you're not sure that you're going to get out of the radius in time. But
Jack, I don't usually suggest this, but I do have some very high quality cocaine here. If you'll just take a moment.
Do a little snort, yeah. I'll take whatever to give us that edge to.
The Incans have been using this to get over mountains for millennia.
Two coked up guys running through the jungle together.
Right. So now the question is, okay, you guys are on your way running for your life.
On
The
coke.
other four, you're also running for your life. You've got a little bit of a head start, maybe about a mile head start. When you're approaching the village and you're probably hot and running and sweaty, what are your plans? The village is just like it was. There's all the sick people and the nurses and the doctors and the protesters and the camp over there. What are you going to do?
And this would still be within the range, right? The village.
Yes.
Yeah.
You also know that there's no way you could save everybody. But then half of them are
No.
already infected. Even more than half are probably infected.
Vern's still concerned about Mula, because she made a promise. Should we
Okay.
get Mula? He's still with that farmer. I don't want to leave him here if it's gonna be decimated.
Yeah, I think we can get him, and we can get as many of the mobile people as possible. I kind of
They
feel like
have
the
they have
a lot of
trucks. They have a way of moving people. It shouldn't be that bad.
It's
I don't
more,
think
do you want to risk taking sick people out and spreading the disease even further?
Well, what if we relocated and made a new base of operations for them? I'd tell them to locate another, I don't know, a mobile army hospital or something like that. That's
Right.
10 miles away because we found a rather large deposit of, I don't know, natural gas or something that's going to erupt.
I mean, I don't think I have time to do a proper evac of all these people. Um,
I think
Yeah,
screening them
Stony.
will take too long. And yeah.
Yeah. You don't have time to screen them. Stony, you kind of figure as you're running into camp and assessing things, you could probably save 25 people
yeah, I mean,
with the trucks available.
yeah, we just don't have the machinery and the time to get trucks or airplanes or whatever here to get these people out. We can do the best we can with what we've got. I'm not happy about it, but we're up against the wall here.
So Fern, do a
Unless
luck roll. Go ahead. Go ahead.
no,
If you
no,
had
no,
some
no,
idea, please.
no,
She's just going
no,
to see if
okay.
she can find Mula.
Okay.
Yes, I have a hard pass.
Okay, so you find him. All right. So you guys are going to try to grab some of the survey team that's not infected and a few people who you reasonably guess are okay.
Yeah.
Though you can't be sure without testing them, and you just don't have time to do it.
Well,
Um,
could we load the analyzer machine, or is it just too big?
it's too big.
Too big. Okay. Yeah.
Do you want to wait for Jack and Haro? You have no idea when that thing's going to go off.
What sort of
We
vehicles do I have available to me? Do I have like a smaller Jeep
You have
type?
Jeeps. Like I say, you can take about 25 people total,
Okay. I'm personally
including
happy.
yourselves.
I'm personally happy hanging back while the rest of you get as many people out of here as possible. And I'll wait on Jack and Dr. Haro.
Okay.
I was gonna say just come with us and leave a jeep for them, but don't we have our little radios? They might be out of range now, but you know, we might keep on trying until they're within range I don't know. That doesn't sound like a good plan. You do whatever you want. I'll help with evacuating people and get the hell out.
Jack and Dr. Harrow do luck rolls.
So we
Now,
could leave them a note.
That's
I
a
lost.
pass.
I lost a lot of luck, and so I rolled maximum S, and I rolled a 12. So I did not get the ironic 100.
You are running down the hill, and you realize that if they were smart, they would have already left the camp. But you do remember that you have the little radios.
Anybody left?
Stone
Yeah, we're
Essex,
just about.
either one.
Are we really only a mile away from them? Because
So you were kind of a mile ahead of them, but they're still coming down the hill. You don't know that.
Okay.
Yeah,
You're in the
we're
trucks and
just
ready to
about.
go.
We're just about ready to leave. Stony is thinking about hanging back for you all.
How many? Is everyone healthy gone?
I mean, everybody that seems healthy. Or we took. How do you mean gone? Like gone away or with us?
Yeah, I moved out.
Has
We
any
took a few,
evacuating?
as many. We took as many as we could.
Well, yeah, I mean, we're on our way. I don't know. You know, it's a close thing. If you want to take, if you want to get a few miles farther away, to be on the safe side, and we don't get vaporized, then we'll meet you up after. Or you can hold out if you're feeling lucky. You got that rabbit's foot? No, that was my friend Jeremy. He's dead. Never mind.
If there's a vehicle, motorcycle, anything you can leave behind for us,
They'd have to take like 5 less people.
Hmm.
Also, Jack, probably as you're running, you're going 28, 27, 26, 25, because you do know the timing of your
Yeah.
Rube Goldberg thing.
And
All
we
right,
got just a short time for the bomb drops, and then a short time after that before it goes off.
So
Really short time after that.
we'll say everybody leaves except for Sonny and the few people. Are you all with Sonny? Are you all going to wait?
Stoney?
Stoning?
Or did Stoney, sorry.
Stoning.
Or did Dr. Lloyd
Listen
get on the
here,
first
son.
ar out?
Oh, I was on the first one out. I'm leading the expedition to make sure everybody's safe.
including yourself.
If the rest of you would like to go with me, I would
think
have
it's-
tried to convince you.
I think it's prudent to just go. Even the two gentlemen said that we should go ahead, so I'll be going ahead.
So
Somebody has to report this Dole invasion.
there's a few minutes, Stoney, when you're all alone there in the truck, and just as you're about ready to give it up and go, you see them come running out of the jungle across the field. They're running at you as fast as they possibly can, and Buzz, you're checking your watch, and you've probably got less than 2 minutes. You come running up, you jump in, and you're like, go, 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 go.
Yeah, I had the engine running as soon as I saw him gone.
Stoney, you start, you tear out. Stoney, I would like you to do a drive roll.
Oh no. Glad I got a
Yeah,
lot
the
of luck
luck, you better
left.
spend it, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yes, I am going to spend the 44 luck to make that.
Wow.
Sounds like a good idea.
Right.
I'm so good at driving. I should have just done it.
All right. So you guys are booking it through the jungle. You're on the path, and Jack, you're like 10, 9, 8, 7. And just before you hit 1, there is a great gwoomph behind you. And for that moment, there is a blinding light behind you. At that point, Stony, you probably swerve, but you obviously don't crash. You feel a tremendous heat on your back. You're pretty sure your clothing is smoking as you pull away from it, but it's all done in a second, and it's gone. And then there's this tremendous boom. All of you farther down the road, you see the same thing, a blinding flash in the light in the sky. The jungle shivers with the blast. And then it's all just suddenly gone. And you get by just in time. If you're exposed to the light, you're definitely burned a little on your backs. Hopefully none of you turned around to look in that direction. You'd literally be looking right into the star. I'll say that you all take 1d4 damage. Fern might be bundled up, so...
Are my hands at least bundled?
Oh my
It better be
gosh.
doctor's orders.
4. I have 1. I have 1 health point.
So Fern's in bad condition.
I'm on my way.
I just went below half. I just went below half of mine.
I would like you... Okay, cool. So you just make it out. You get to the village. Everybody is just flabbergasted. Something horrible happened. They think the mountain went off like a volcano. And you all just made it out in time. I'd like you to all do Constitution rolls now that you are starting to slow down.
It's a good thing Michael so high at 30.
I got a hard success.
Regular failure.
14.
So who failed? Just Dr.
I
Harrow?
passed. Oh,
Okay. In the aftermath, Dr. Harrow, you, just as a final precaution, you check yourself out, and you have the Yellow Death.
I failed as well. Do I have it as well?
Yes, you do. Now, you have the
Pity.
substance that will make it delay for a while.
Pity we had to leave the analyzer behind. A very useful machine. Maybe we have good schematics for it.
This is really weird, Dr. Hill. Like, the burns, everything's turning yellow on my hands now.
We'll clean it up and wrap it up.
And it's going further up my arm.
It takes time. You're just having anxiety.
Do you administer the slowing agent?
Delaying? Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, does he give it to me or does he not give it to me?
Of course, yeah. He's
No.
you guys brought it with
We've
you.
saved
so-
your bacon several times already.
You just tell me it's all in my head. You're fine.
That's not yellow. That's a delightful puce.
Your eyes
You,
are just fried.
You managed to get back to civilization. Caduceus gets your report, and they send a means for you guys to get back to Caduceus in New York.
I'm
It
going to
takes
insist, of course, that Green and I are quarantined in transit.
so you guys quarantine. It's private airline, so I mean it's not a commercial. So you are quarantined. You get back to Caduceus. 3 days takes you to get back. You have not shown any signs, any symptoms. You have the genetic signs that you've got it. You get back and you tell them of your immediate problem, the Yellow Death. And after a lengthy discussion with the higher-ups, Dr. Gonsalves, who you recall, he comes to you, you guys are in quarantine, he comes to you and he says, well, there may be a solution that we can offer you. It's up to you. You will die of this if you don't take the solution, but it is a solution. Your Mr. Bellamy has been working to try and assist Gustav in his transformation. Snake people can't get this disease. He's naturally immune. So what I'm suggesting is conversion for you, the same as Gustav. I understand if it's against your integrity, but it's the only possible way to save your life at this point.
And his English accent through all of this, it finally drops, and he goes, "Can I have a minute?"
Sure. You can have a couple days if you want. But
Yeah,
you can't
I'm
live
going to
quarantine.
need rather more than that. Maybe we can have a conversation with Goose.
We can have the others. We can put them in the glass room over there. So you can talk to them without infecting them. I'll set that up. Give me 20 minutes. And the rest of you are contacted and told the situation.
I mean,
So
we
you're
have
all
the
there
means,
together.
they're working on, they worked on setting up our room. I mean, from what I understand, it's not going to feel good, but dying of the Yellow Death, I guess, isn't either.
Well, Green, the good news is that they have rather tough hides, so you'll have much less to be afraid of in your immediate environment.
And those debt collectors, you might change appearance now and then if any debt collectors come around.
Goose, somebody has to give up their skin for that. Don't give them ideas.
I can't remember last session because it was a month ago in real time. Can you help me remember what the rules for ghouls were?
You have to like eat a dead body. It's part of it, right?
You have to, eat dead flesh, and you have to pledge your loyalty to Mordiggian, their ghoul god.
But you wouldn't die from the Yellow Death either if you had it.
No, but you'd have a lot harder time passing in society.
But you
Well,
can
they
dig cool
basically-
holes.
They also didn't really, I mean, I don't know that that's true.
Which part?
I mean, the ghouls can't really get diseases, but at the same time, you're not a ghoul yet. You've got a disease already. I don't know that it cures. I don't know. We'd have to decide that with luck roll, but
Yeah, I mean, they weren't
might end
afraid
up
to eat those corpses for sure. But you might be a short-lived ghoul with a terrible illness.
might keep rotting.
And my options aren't exactly the greatest. Okay. Yeah, it was just a question. I was trying to think of another out of this, but looks like I might be a snake.
You want us to throw you in a gate?
Why would you do that?
Be careful you don't throw him on a child or something.
So I'm imagining when like Dr. Harrow and I are locked up, I'm looking at him and I just go, "So you finally gonna teach me how to do that fucking thing you do? Like that fake? I know it's like levers or tricks or strings or something. We're locked up in here all by ourselves. How the fuck do you do it?"
Well, I hadn't considered that. I hope it doesn't affect my ability to manipulate things mentally. I mean, Goose doesn't seem like a different person from the outside, but who knows what faculties will change. Although it seems as though our reptile cousins have quite a few powerful mental skills. Maybe mine will become more acute. It's an interesting scientific prospect. No, Lloyd, there's no trick to it. I mean, I have a traumatic injury. That's what started it. I couldn't do this when I was a kid. I caught shrapnel in my skull.
I got hit in the head with a bottle in a bar fight. I can't like. So I mean,
Yeah, I mean, if I knew, it's not replicable as far as I can tell. Phineas Gage, was a fellow who dropped a metal pipe on a explosive cap, and the pipe went through his skull roughly from here to there, and he didn't learn how to make things float. He did become an unpleasant person socially, however.
I would imagine so. It'd be a terrible neck ache always looking up like this with a pipe in your head.
No, the pipe went all the way out. No. It just, instead of killing him, it changed him. These brains are very unpredictable. Gosh, I would have thought all the precautions I took that I wouldn't have caught the damn thing, but
With
There was no.
with that revelation too, I'd like you both to do sanity rolls. And in fact, I'd like everybody also to do sanity rolls for the fact that there were a lot of people killed in that explosion.
I rolled a 1.
I rolled a 3. How dare you show me up like that?
I failed
I also failed.
miserably.
I failed.
52 fail.
I rolled a 2nd for the loss of life, and 37 is fine. I've got other
see
things
if-
on my mind.
I'll say if you fail, then you do 1d4 sanity points of damage. Of course, you are in New York again, so you can talk those all through and gain some back.
I'm almost at half my sanity.
You're going even quicker than me.
All right.
Taro, do you think they're going to lock us up just like they did the other one?
They don't trust her because she's ancient. Goose has been running around fancy free.
So you guys are under quarantine with some decisions to make. Jack, Fern, Gustav, and Stony, what are you up to?
I'm going to my shop once we're, debriefed and allowed to leave. I'm definitely going to my shop to do as I always do and tell Frankie everything.
I'm going. The psych help was in the basement.
Yeah, well, wherever they meet you. I forget
gonna
what
go
you
to
get
them.
back on psych.
I'll do that at some point. I'm also
I'm gonna, talk over all those people we left behind we couldn't save. It's starting to weigh on my mind, plus all the other things I've seen. But yeah,
Well, I'll look that up after the game and should tell you how
sure.
many sanity points you get back. And I'm
Do
sure
we
it can.
do we have a Moolah with us, or did we leave Moolah with someone else?
You did rescue Mullah, but yeah, he was kind of swept out of your arms and wherever they're going to put him somewhere with his people. You can't bring him back as a pet. Stony, what are you going to get up to now that you're back out?
Well, I got beat up a little bit in that escapade, so I'm going to get me some medical attention and some rest is my immediate concern.
All right. So we'll say a couple of days go by. Uh, Lloyd and Dr. Jude, do you have a decision you wanted to make? Sorry, it's
Lloyd
not much
has-
of a decision. That's
Lloyd has taught me how to play several interesting games.
I was actually about to say yes. I would have been playing card games with you, and I might have actually taught you a trick or two.
Yeah. But not so that I can beat you, just so that I can beat Patsy's.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, and the good news about this decision is that
Well, we're not going to die.
right. Yes, that is the good news, actually. What would be a death sentence, and I saw how that woman suffered in her last moments. We can avoid that. So, we'll have Jack fire up the quick and easy reptile ray room.
Gustav, are you going to finish the treatment then as well?
Yeah, I'll join them.
So
Might as
Dr.
well rip
Gonsalves
this
sets it
Band-Aid
up.
off.
Dr. Gonsalves sets it up. He works with Buzz. Fern and Stony are watching for the whole thing. And you go into one room and Jack throws the switch. And there is green light all around you. And it hurts a little for you, Gustav, because you're already halfway there. For Lloyd and Dr. Harrow, it's excruciating. It's like your skin is being burned. But it doesn't last long, less than 30 seconds. And when it's over, you don't feel any different. But the texture of your skin has changed just a little bit. And you know that if you get wounded, it'll be replaced by black scales, which Gustav already has some. And we'll update your stats afterwards, after we're done as well. After that, the next day, you are all called into a debriefing meeting. Dr. Gonsalves is there. He sets you down, and you go over all the details of what happened. The loss of Shapiro is once again another terrible blow.
We would have brought back his remains, but we didn't have room really in the evacuation.
Understand. He tells you that the world has been told that it was a natural disaster, so they don't even really know. The governments have decided to keep the disease a secret because pretty much it was wiped out. The people that you did rescue didn't have the disease. And so things had gone back. They themselves thought that it was a natural disaster when it occurred. So perhaps that can help you realize that it was one of those things that just had to be done. So as you are having this debriefing mission, the door in the back of the room opens, and this well-dressed, very tall, muscular Asian fellow steps into the room and holds the door open. And Gonsalves is like, oh my. Says, gentlemen, we're about to be visited by Mr. Meadham. And then coming around, I'll show you him, and then I'll show you Mr. Meadham, who comes walking in. So the first man you see is this fellow. And coming around the corner is this fellow. They step into the room. Joshua Meadham looks at you, and he walks over to where Gonsalves is, and Dr. Gonsalves moves to the side. And Mr. Meadham says, "Well, gentlemen and lady, you did. I'm not above recognizing the difficulty you've gone through and the sacrifices you've made. I'm sorrowed at the loss of Shapiro, and I'm sorry that I haven't met you earlier. I'm Joshua Meadham, and this whole thing is I'm the founder who started Caduceus. I've taken the time to come down here to give you some congratulations and some condolences. It's a triumph, and it's a horrible thing that happened. The loss of life. You probably have begun to recognize what our enemy is like. We have only been able to guess at what was going on there in Borneo. We think that the Inner Night is trying to find a gateway into Mu. Our guest, Tiranish, that was her mission 10,000 years ago, 13,000 years ago. And now the Inner Night also seems to be trying to find a way back to Mu. And that may be why they discovered they found that damaged facility, as you described it. Yes.
I'd like to ask actually an in-game question.
Mm-hmm.
We were all debriefed. Did we all describe the Dreamlands?
You probably would have.
We didn't have an opportunity to decide not to, I guess, is one answer.
I guess I should have given you that opportunity, but
I just thought of it now. And, you know, we're generally presuming that we're faithful Caduceus employees, but I wonder after an event like this, had we not been separated, variously injured and whatnot, what we would have said about that. Also, you know, just in terms of, you know, Lloyd aside, covering our tail about blowing a giant hole in the earth. But I think that it's probably safe to say that we were debriefed separately and we mostly just said what we remembered. Is that fair?
Oh, I would have lied my ass off.
well, yeah,
That
they
goes without
expected
saying.
that. So, yeah. It's not what you say; it's what you don't say. No, I mean they were aware. They were obviously they sent you there because they were aware that it might be the Inner Night.
Right.
You confirmed that it was. They sent you with a half-terrain device, knowing that they would possibly blow up the whole mountainside, which you did. And unless you want to keep secrets to yourselves, or tell them what's going on, that's kind of what you were trying to find out. So I'm sorry if I jumped the gun on that.
I wouldn't have mentioned Eddie at all. I don't know if anybody else would have.
Okay, you didn't mention Eddie. That's cool.
Yeah,
Or your
I'm
cool
guessing the rest of us
connection.
came clean because I think we're still. I mean, as a player, I'm suspicious of this organization, but as a character, I'm not particularly. I feel like they maybe play fast and loose with human life, but I also feel like I'm on the front line of a battle more than I am like going, what's wrong with these people? I think that's metagaming in my brain.
Well, I'm
But
kind of
that's-
both. I lie and I don't trust anyone. So
That it's it's not an unacceptable position because the mafia have already told you that they have a lot of suspicions about Caduceus. Are they really not using drugs and selling them illegally any longer and so forth?
And you were locked up with me, and ever since like the very beginning, I've been doubtful of Caduceus, and I've been mentioning it that all we are just like hunting for like their random things, and we're not valued at all.
But like you and me in R&R, mostly in quarantine together, everything you say, I'm like, oh my God, this guy. So
I'm a conspiracy
right
theorist.
now, I'm like, yeah, Caduceus team, go.
So,
Yeah, I think my character doesn't have any suspicions.
so I'll let you, keep the secrets that you wanted to out of that. Joshua Meadham, says that you should all be commended. Your work is deeply appreciated. And you really should take some time off, see the psychologist and so forth. And then he says, now, I've got a company to run but if you ever need anything, you can trust these people, Dr. Gonsalves. And he looks back at the Asian guy and he says, that's my bodyguard. So most of us can't pronounce his actual name, so we call him Channing. And he says, so I'll let you get back to it, but please, take time off. No expense too great. You've been at the forefront of our mission so far. So have a nice day. And he leaves. I probably sounded way too compassionate. He's very much a businessman, so you don't get smiles and warmth from him.
He walks away. I look at everybody. No expenses too great. Did I hear that correct?
I'm sure there's an account. I wouldn't go crazy, Green. You're already in debt to some dangerous people.
Who among you has psychology?
I have some, I believe. Yeah, I have a bet.
I have a good deal of
bit.
it.
I have enough.
If you have
Criminy. I rolled a 1 under my 40, so maybe my newly reptilian gaze saw through his mammal bullshit.
all right. Well, that's good. You can discuss this with the others too. You're sure that Shi-Chin Yang Channing is a bodyguard. I mean, he looks like he could knock anyone on there. He could snap people in half. Meadham seems like a very serious individual. And although I may have presented it a little soft, he presents it more as a businessman. But he's the head of the company. You're kind of employees, but he's giving you his, props.
Large ass.
The one that really kind of stands out in that room that you only glanced at and noticed is Dr. Gonsalves. There was a look in Dr. Gonsalves' face like, oh my God, Jesus Christ has walked in the front door and he's speaking to us.
Well, since the top staff keep getting reptilized, sorry, Goose, Lloyd, me, I guess we're really raising up the ranks. I was really, my impulse, of course, also was to ask about his daughter, but he was too businesslike and brisk to give us much breathing space.
You've also been warned not to talk about the daughter.
I have been, but that's, some of us.
Did anyone notice any sagging skin or anything like that on anyone?
Like healthy as horses.
Check the shadows.
They'd be too high-powered for that.
That never hurt, but yeah, probably.
It doesn't hurt.
Bodyguard.
So, for a while at least, a few weeks maybe, you will have some time to build yourselves up, learn new skills, train whatever you want. As I said, we'll figure out what your sanity gain will be. But also it seemed like you're all talking about a little distrust on Caduceus. So feel free to pursue an investigation if you want to. You might have to think about some covert stuff because there's some floors of this building that you can't get to or you're not supposed to get to.
I would be hanging out with Tyrannish personally, trying to figure out how the skin swap thing works.
Oh, let's talk about Tyrannish again. When you go to see Tyrannish, who you invariably do, she's very frustrated at this point. They won't let her out of the building. They won't let her use a disguise. She's glad that you're back and you're safe, but she's maybe a little miffed at you that you haven't found a way to get her out yet. When you discuss the situation, she confirms what Jack saw in the facility. She says that this was quite a bit before her time, but when the serpent people discovered gate technology, they started doing experiments. Their first experiments were fairly successful. She also mentions that they didn't invent the technology. They stole it from older races. She says they set up a network all over the planet of gates, so they could literally travel, from one continent to another instantaneously. But the scientists that lived on that island, which you call Borneo, their facility was a lot of speculation. They had tried opening gateways into other dimensions. And their first experiments into higher dimensions were disastrous. Apparently, there are things that live in those higher dimensions that are extremely hostile to our kind of life. So they gave up those experiments and they switched to trying to get into the dreamlands, which they had succeeded in. But once again, they were not, it was all experimentation. And apparently they broke into the lower parts of the dreamlands and let a dole out, and their safety mechanism kicked in. And what it did is it teleported rock and soil and earth from all over the planet and just dumped it onto their facility and fused it with everything that was there. And that's actually where Mount Kinabatu came from, was this safeguard. It killed the scientists, it destroyed the facility, and it probably fused the dole with rock, and the world was saved. But they never tried to do that again. They never tried to open up gateways into the higher dimensions again, at least as far as she knows.
Does she know about any attempts of her people to get off Earth directly, or to have traveled through gates to someplace off the surface of the Earth?
To other planets, no. But she does think that the original creators of the gates, which were, she calls the Migo, that they may have in fact had gateways that led from Earth to their home world, wherever it was.
Did we see any of the gates that flashed by, that other than the one in the Dole channel that looked like it wasn't Earth?
No, they all pretty much look like places on Earth.
Just why I didn't want to throw a bomb into any of them, or even a pebble.
She also guesses that she would be really surprised if if any of them were working in the last 10,000 years. Obviously, their civilization fell apart.
Well, as far as tyranny is concerned, I think we can broadly express a shared frustration. Has she, I'm curious now that I'm going to have different circumstances. Like, my impression was the building had higher security going up and that the therapy was in lower levels. Wondering what the people who are therapizing us are privy to.
Everything,
Can't exactly.
I believe.
Yeah. Can't,
It's a good question. Do a spot hidden for me.
oh, I didn't say anything about that.
So you didn't pass. Okay.
95. So
Do you say it to the others?
I
Are
think
you
I'm in
discussing
general
with them?
concerned about, what the therapists downstairs could possibly, what their clearance is.
So you can all try a spot hidden.
I thought I remembered in the past that it was fully. But here, let me see.
You can spend 1 point of luck to make it a hard.
You don't have to get a hard. If you pass, in general, you've probably started to notice, because Tyrannisha's down there too, and you've been to the offices, that the walls and the doors and the things don't all line up. That there's more to the underground facility part that you don't have access to. That must be down there. There might even be another lower level.
I think before we go on adventuring again, we have two things to consider. One of them is that map indicated that is or was a substantial inner night location in Iceland. And the other is that there are parts of our conditions that people aren't being frank with us about, so we should do a little internal snooping. So we should have a nice dinner at the 21 Club again. Maybe don't invite Green's friends this time. Unless you've got some money somewhere.
I think I remember them mentioning that I could set up a payment plan of sorts, and I've got about $32 on me. I'm sure they'll be able to convert it. All I've got is the money from the island, but it'll work.
Green, even if you had the money, would you really give it to them?
Of course, I always pay my debts.
You're English again?
Okay.
English? I've never been to England in my life. I'm from a small city out in Illinois.
What city is that?
It's called Schaumburg.
Schaumburg. Sounds French.
Yeah, last week it was Montana. Now it's Illinois.
Fern, I think I think that dull spit might have. Trust me, things have been addled a little bit for me too. A little scared, a little trying to keep up with everything. But Montana, it's a little too for me. Like, no, I'm from Illinois.
No, no, hon, I get it. You're a little bit here, a little bit there, a little bit everywhere, right?
I've been around.
So, just in general, then, with those ideas in mind, before we finish tonight, who's doing some snooping? And where are you snooping?
The first thing I need to figure out if I can. Oh, you go first, and I'll go later.
No. I was thinking more for maybe. I have quite a bit of points in disguise. So I was thinking if I can figure out, like, if I can disguise as one of the people from the upper floors and go there. I mean, we just learned about this basement, but I'll start with the upper floors if I can get into them.
if you want help and you mention it to me, I might be able to help you out a little bit.
What sort of help? I don't think
know. Help with
Goose would
disguising.
mention it.
Okay, never mind.
I'm sorry.
So-
Goose Lloyd trust issues.
So, in order to figure out how to get away with it, you're not sure that the disguise is going to work very well, but you first have to sort of assess what the security is really like.
You get a feel for it first. Like, do they use badges? Who goes in there at all? What times? Stake it out first.
So,
I think
you know that Frank DeLuca is in charge of security. And he
Royal
has
prick.
what you might say multiple desks. He's got an office up on the 17th floor, which you probably wouldn't be able to get to unless you figured out some way to get up to it. But let's have the two of you. Dr. Jude, were you also looking around?
absolutely.
All right. So how about the three of you do spot hidden rolls, and whoever gets the superior roll.
Oh, I rolled an 8.
89.
That 95 aside, I've been rolling.
I rolled I didn't roll. Did anybody pass?
I rolled an 8.
You know what?
So
We'll
that's
let
an
you pass.
extreme, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, 9. 9 would
right.
be the limit.
I'd have to use 30 to pass, so.
Yeah. All right. So you guys have been snooping around. And covertly, you, Dr. Harrow, you might be passing Frank DeLuca's desk. And you see something typed out that you just pilfered.
Mm-hmm.
And you take it back with you. And this is what you find.
Getting out of quarantine, I've been extra wandering. Frank DeLuca, Chief of Security, Meadham Building, New York City, March 3rd, 33. Break-in at the Connecticut estate, February 24th. My men have completed their investigation of last month's break-in at the Meadham estate. Their findings are: there is no indication of this being an inside job or of Caduceus staff providing assistance to burglars. The dead guards were killed by sorcerous means. Nothing of value was taken, but every building had been searched extensively. The desecration of the temple suggests that the intruders were enemies of the father of snakes. The lack of dead snakes in the temple indicates that the intruders had nothing to fear from snake venom. All of these factors indicate that the Inner Night are involved, given the public nature of the Meadham estate. It will be difficult to defend should they return. No materials relating to Caduceus operations should be stored at the estate for the immediate future. Any artifacts or religious texts should be removed to the storeroom on the 7th floor of the Meadham building, and any scientific materials and specimens should be secured in a laboratory in the lower basement. All sensitive documents should be kept in Mr. Meadham's personal safe. Given that we will be unable to relocate the temple, we will retain a presence at the Connecticut estate. I recommend that we increase the security presence at the estate by 3 men per shift and double the patrol frequency. We shall have to use human guards due to lack of essential resources, and I will vet them personally. Replacements for the trained guard dogs killed by the intruders are also essential. Can I please request that we do not attempt to use those lizard hybrids we experimented with last year? Their baying attracted attention from neighbors, and Jenkins needed to have his arm amputated after the incident.
And we'll leave it at that.
That's interesting.
Our players included Cohen Lighton, Carrie Comer, Kent Blue, Julian Arba, Dakota Poole, and David Gassaway, with yours truly as the keeper of arcane lore. We have a Discord server where you can chat with other members, you can set up private games, and you can learn the finer arts of gameplay and game mastering. We provide audio-only versions of our shows free for you to download from Spotify, Podbean, or iTunes. Support for the show is provided by our patrons who are listed in the closing credits. If you would like to show us your appreciation, please visit our Patreon page, or you can use the thanks button just below the screen. Like, share, and subscribe to our channel, and punch the bell icon for updates on our latest shows, and leave us some comments. We enjoy reading them and answer any questions you might have. This is Thom Raley, together with all the members of our gaming club, inviting you to journey with us once again into the darkness for another adventure into the universe of H.P. Lovecraft and the Pulp Cthulhu role-playing game. Until next time, good luck, good gaming.